peeking out my window as people walk by. Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Kendra Tolbert. I'm a registered dietitian and yoga teacher, and I specialize in women's health and fertility. And today I'm doing my very first yoga live stream here on YouTube. And so I'm sharing a fertility-focused practice. But of course, even if you're not trying to conceive, this is still going to be quite supportive for your overall well-being because it's still yoga. So don't worry if you're not trying to conceive, you can still gain quite a bit of benefit from this practice. So I was inspired by the element of water. I always think of water when I think of fertility and really when I think of health. And so I incorporated poses that would actually stimulate the areas that are associated with the water element from traditional Chinese medicine. And also I wanted the movement to feel fluid. And so hopefully that's what you experience in today's practice. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So meet me on your hands and your knees. You might want to place a blanket or any sort of padding underneath your knees if you find that your knees are sensitive. And you can always grab the outer edges of your mat, pull it up, and then fold it back on itself. And you can rest your knees on that as you're padding. So once you're on your hands and your knees, place your wrist underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, spine long. On your next inhale, arch your spine. And as you exhale, round your spine. Inhale to arch, allowing your movement to ripple up your spine, and then exhale to round. Once again, rippling your spine as you move. Inhale, arch, moving fluidly and freely. Exhale, round. Continue inhaling and arching. Exhaling and rounding at your own pace. Trusting your breath to be your guide. As you're moving through this cat-cow, really bring your attention to your lower abdomen, to that spot between your navel and your pelvis. What do you notice as you bring your attention to this area? Come back to a neutral spine. Place your big toes together. Bring your knees out wide. Send your hips back to your heels. Walk your hands forward and rest your forehead down onto the mat or onto a prop for child's pose. Slowly come back up onto your hands and your knees. Bring your knees so they are once again underneath your hips and your feet are parallel, not parallel, but in line with your knees. Walk your knees back. Bend your elbows to lower your chest down to the mat, leaving your hands underneath your shoulders. On your next inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, lower your chest. Elbows are pointing back. Inhale, lift your chest, arching your spine. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Come back up onto your hands and your knees. Walk your knees underneath your hips, and then bring your torso up so that your torso is over your knees, so you're kneeling. Place your hands on the small of your back, fingertips pointing down, elbows pointing back, shoulders wide. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, send your hips forward. Lean your torso back. Perhaps you arch your spine as well. Breathe here. Decide if you would like to look back, look up, or look forward, chin in towards your chest. Choose what would feel best to you today. You're here for another 5 breaths. Come back up. Lower your hips down to your heels so you are seated on your heels. Place one hand at the center of your chest and the other on your lower abdomen. Breathe here. What do you notice in the 2 places where your hands are touching your body? Do you feel your heart beating? Do you feel the rise and fall of your lower abdomen as you breathe? What about the back side of your body? What do you notice here? Place your fingertips down onto the mat. Sit off to one side, and then bring your legs out in front of you. I'm actually going to turn to face you, but feel free to face whatever direction is best for you. Bring both legs out wide, and then fold your right leg in. So you'll bend your right knee, and the sole of your right foot will come to the inside of your left thigh. Turn your torso so that you are facing your left knee. Inhale to circle your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. As you inhale, slide your hands along the mat, bring them up overhead, and then exhale to hinge forward, hands come to the mat. Inhale, slide your hands back and send them up. Exhale, hinge forward, hands come to the mat. Inhale, slide back and up. Exhale, come down. Continue with this almost rowing motion at your own pace. Last round. This time, when you come down, stay here for a moment to breathe. Where in your body can you release? Where can you relax? Is it your hips, your knees, your jaw, your shoulders? Maybe somewhere else. Walk your hands back, bring your torso up, and switch sides. So this time the left leg bends and comes in, and the right leg goes out. Turn to face your right leg. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hinge forward, hands come down. Inhale, slide your hands back and up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, slide back and up. Exhale, down. Inhale, slide back. Exhale, down. Continue this at your own pace. You know what to do. Last round. When you come down, stay here and breathe. Do you notice any differences between your right leg and your left leg? Slowly walk yourself back up. Straighten your left leg so that both legs are in front of you and out wide. Don't worry about how wide. That's really not what's important. What's important is that you are feeling it to whatever degree your body feels it. So inhale to circle your arms up overhead. Exhale, lower your hands to shoulder height. Then interlace your fingers together in front of you. Begin to make circles with your torso around your hips. You can imagine that you are stirring a pot of soup, maybe churning something. Really take your time with this. Explore all the nooks and crannies of your hips. Change direction. My arms are definitely starting to get tired. So if you're feeling the same, know that you are not alone. Come back to center. Release your arms. Bring your feet together. So you might want to place your hands behind you, lean back. Bring your feet together, and then give your legs a good shake. There we go. All right, now bend your knees to bring the soles of your feet onto the floor. Drop your knees to the right, and then bring them up through center and over to the left. And then continue to move them from side to side, going slowly. I have to scoot my hips back, so you might want to try that. Notice if it feels any different depending on where your hips are placed. Do you prefer for your hips to be closer to your heels or farther away from your heels? What is your body letting you know about the experience that it would like to create today? Come back up through center, soles of your feet flat on the floor. Then bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall down towards the mat, away from one another. Bring your hands to your ankles or to the insides of your feet or to your knees, whatever would feel good to you. And on your next inhale, bring your knees up. And as you exhale, lower your knees. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up and exhale lower. Continue flapping your legs at your own pace. Last time. I'm going to turn so that I'm facing one of the short edges of my mat, so feel free to do the same if you were facing forward. Lie back onto your elbows. Lie down onto your mat. Place the soles of your feet together once again. Knees fall away from one another towards the mat. Place one hand at the center of your chest and the other on your lower abdomen. Breathe here. Place your hands onto the floor on either side of your hips. Straighten your legs. And breathe here. Begin to wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Give yourself a smile. Roll over onto your side, knees bent. Slowly press yourself up and come to a comfortable seated position. Inhale, circle your arms up overhead, palms touch. Hands come to the center of your chest as you exhale. Take this time to thank yourself for taking this time to move and breathe. And I thank you for allowing me to move and breathe with you and guide you in today's practice. Thank you, everyone.